Good morning, children. Let us discuss few of the unsolved questions. So, in the textbook, some questions that are not in the textbook that I have given you as PDF. Now, let us discuss the questions that are in your textbook. So, these questions I have given in the PDF. This is all I have given in the PDF. Now let us discuss the sixth questions. What is database management system? Why do we need a database management system? So this is the answer for the sixth question. So I have written here 6. Answer 6. So DBMS are specifically designed application to create a connection between the user and the program. So database management system is a software which help us to establish a connection between the user and the program. Then it helps us to store data in an organized manner in the database. So for storing in a database, we need database management system. So you can write from here till here. So a DBMS stores data in such a manner that it becomes easier and highly efficient to retrieve, manipulate and produce information. So thus a DBMS is an electronic or computerized record keeping system. It maintains the various pieces of information in an integrated and summarized form. Then what is the need for DBMS? So the DBMS system is used to eliminate the problem of data redundancy and data inconsistency. So it is the need for DBMS. So DBMS does not maintain separate files for different applications. Rather, it works on the centrally maintained database, which means that data is kept at one place and all the applications that require the data may refer to this database. Whenever any file gets updated, the updated version of the file is available to all the applications using the database system. So till here it is the need for database. The next question we will discuss is, what is the main function of database administrator, DBA? So here it is in the index memory bytes page. You can see here last database administrator is the, I've written here answer 10. Administrator is the person who is responsible for the security and functioning of the database. The next question, what is data redundancy? Database, what is data redundancy and how it can be controlled? Before that, describe the components of the database system. 8th question, describe the components of the database system. 7th I have given in the PDF. So go to page number 9.4. So the components of the database system, you can see in page 9.4. So the components of the database system are user, then database application, DBMS and database. So you have to draw, if it comes for the exam, you have to draw this figure also, then explain each of the components. So first is user. The user can be of varied types, that is, it can be a database administrator or a database maintenance or for database processing purpose, database creation purpose or database maintenance purpose or database processing purpose. So DBMS creator helps the user in creating and defining the required data. Then maintenance, that person will maintain the database. And database processing is the DBMS performers one of the major tasks of query processing. It processes the queries or the information requirement of the user and retrieves the necessary information from the database. So you mark this as the answer for question number 8. Then it's answer database application, that is the database application may be personal, departmental, enterprise and internal. It may be general purpose or customized as per the needs of the user. Then DBMS, software that allows users to define, create, access and manage database is termed as DBMS. Then database is a collection of logical data. Then for question number what are the advantages of and disadvantages of DBMS? So advantages of database management system is controlling of, to page number 9.4 you can see control of data redundancy, data consistency, sharing of data, reduced programming effort, database enforce standards, improved data integrity, privacy and security, economical, improved backup and recovery, solving enterprise requirement than individual requirements. So till this it is the disadvantages. It is not in the textbook, so I have given it in the PDF. Then the next question in the textbook, that is what is data redundancy, how can it be controlled? So go to page number 9.4. So you can see here control of data redundancy. So redundancy, we know that what is same copy of data existing in different places. So duplication of data leads to wastage of storage space. A database management system eliminates data redundancy, that is duplication of data, by integrating the files so that multiple copies of the same data are not stored. So only this much is the answer from here to here. Then the next question, what is data independence? So here it is given, one of the major advantages offered by the DBMS is the data independence. A database system normally contains a lot of data in addition to users' data. It stores data about data known as metadata. So to locate and retrieve data easily according to users' requirement, in case there is no change in the existing data, metadata itself follows a layered architecture so that when we change the data at one layer, it does not affect the data at another level. So database system provides both logical and physical data independence. So if we change data in one place, it does not affect the data in another layer. So it is called data independence, and it is of two types, logical and physical. So you have to write the whole paragraph. Then this one, give the terms for each of the following. Collection of logically related records are called relation or table. Then DBMS creates a file that contains description about the data stored in the database. So a data containing about a file data about data, that is called metadata. Metadata, metadata, metadata. Then the attributes that can uniquely identify the tuples in a relation is called primary key. Then next one, special value, that is stored when actual data value is unknown for an attribute, that is null value, null. Then an attribute which can uniquely identify the tuples of the table but not defined by primary key of the table. So a set of attributes in which is not the primary key but it uniquely identifies, it is called, it may be a candidate key. So since it is not a primary key, it will be the alternate key. Then Software that is used to create, manipulate and maintain a relational database is DBMS, database management system, or here since it is a relational database it is RDBMS, a relational database management system. Then next one is, why are foreign keys allowed to have null values? Since foreign key is a column in is an attribute of one primary table which is referenced in the current table. So in the parent table that column is the primary key. When it is referenced in the current table it becomes the foreign key. So it is not a matter when it is referenced from one other table and in the parent table that primary key will not have null values, but in the current table it can have null values because it is the foreign key and its foreign key is just a column in a primary table, and any column in the table can have null values only the except the primary key of that table. Since foreign key is not a primary key, it is just a column in that table, it can also have null values. Then differentiate between database state and database schema, that is given in the PDF. Then primary key and foreign key, that is in page number 9.10. So this is difference between primary key and foreign key. So you have to write about primary key and to write about foreign key also. So in the previous statement we have said that foreign key can have null values and duplicate values also. So here we are referring this, consider this example, this table, and here this table, and here there is a person E01, employee number E01 is a manager, and this is the employee table and this is department table. So department table contains different post or different designations, that is manager, director, accountant, assistant, and its designation code is the primary key of the department table. Now we are referring this designation code in another table. Now designation code is the primary key of department table which we are using in the employee table. Now this designation code becomes the foreign key of the employee table, and EMP-ID is the primary key of the employee table, and a foreign key can have duplicate values or null values. So here you can see E01, which is Ankur Mehta, is a manager, and you can see the same value is being repeated here also because E05, that is Kirti Dubey, is also a manager. So when we use foreign keys, it can have null values and also it can have duplicate values, but in case of primary key it should not have null values or it should not have duplicate values. Then next question is degree and cardinality of a relation, that also you can see in page number 9.9, that is cardinality is the number of records or tuples in a relation. So cardinality is the number of records or rows in a relation, and degree is the number of columns in a relation. Then the 16th question, consider the 16th question. Suppose that all the customers of a particular business live in states for which the city name is unique. So customers of a particular business are living in states where their city name. So these are the column names of the table, and for each customer their city name is unique. That is, they have different cities. No customers are from the same city. That is, the city column has unique values. That is, the values in the city column are not repeating. It has unique values. That is, all the customers, each customer is from a different city, even if in the same state, but from a different city. So given the following description for customer data, list the most likely key for the primary key. So it is given these columns and which column can be considered as the primary key. So we know always in a customer table the customer's ID is a unique value. Always the customer ID is the unique value, and also in this case it is given in the question that city is also unique. City is also unique. So we can select any one as the primary key. That is, customer ID can also be selected as primary key and city also can be selected as primary key because it has unique values. Now we can select customer ID as the primary key because it is a small number. So we know that a primary key should be a small character. So we select customer ID, that is, we list the most likely key for the primary key. So we select cust ID, that is cust ID as the primary key. Then list all the candidate keys and alternate keys. So we have two columns that can be a primary key. So that two columns are candidate keys, that is, they are candidates for primary key, candidates to become the primary key. And from these two, so what is the question here? List all the candidate keys. So the candidate keys are cust ID and city because they both can become the primary key. Now list all the candidate keys and alternate keys. So alternate key means all the candidate keys except primary key. So we have two candidate keys, cust ID and city, and in that except the primary key. So the primary key is cust ID, so the alternate key will be city. So the alternate key is city. Then these these are in the textbook in page number 9.9, and this primary key candidate, these are in page number 9.10. Then the rest I have given in the PDF. Okay, thank you children.